Now let's talk about module documentation. Most often, when you develop your own module and you want to share this module with other people to use your functions, you have to add some documentation so people will understand what this module about. In order to add documentation to a module, usually we add this module at the header of that module, and we use triple quotes for documentation, and we see this before in functions. We haven't dealt with the classes, but also this is the same way to add documentation, and also it's the same case for modules. Why we use triple quote? Because this documentation within triple quote will appear in the output of help function. So if anybody wants to know what your module does, simply he or she will call help function with your module name to get the documentation string. Let's see an example. In this example, I want to assume that I have two modules, module 3 and module 4. In this module, I will assume that I have some mathematical functions like math function 1 and math function 2. And here at the header of the file, I add this documentation string, which states that this module has some mathematical functions. Now let me assume that I go to module 4 and I want to use module 3. But first of all, I want to discover this module. So what I have to do, I will import this module first, as you see here, import module 3. Then I will print the output of help function. If I run now this module 4 and see what is the output, you will see here name module 3, and this module has some mathematical functions. If I go back to module 3, you will see this sentence is exactly like this sentence. So we can understand from this what I add here as a documentation string will appear here in the output of help function. The next idea is module initialization. You have to know that when a module is loaded into a running Python script for the first time, the code within that module is executed. Also, you have to know that if another module in your code imports the same module again, the module will not be loaded or executed twice, but once only. From this, we can understand that a module is imported only one time when it has been imported firstly from other modules. Why this initialization is useful? Because this will give initial value to some objects available inside this module, and these objects could be used within the module functions. So these objects should have values. Now let's see some examples to understand what I mean by this. In this example, I want to assume that I have three modules, module 5, module 6, and module 7. In module 5, I will define a variable x equal to 5. Then I will print this statement, x variable has been created. Now, inside module 6, I will import module 5. Inside module 7, I will import also module 5 and I will import module 6. And don't forget that within module 6, we also import module 5. Now let's see. If I run module 6, I will see here that this sentence has been printed. X variable has been created. From this, we can understand that when I import a module here, module 5, the code within that module has been executed. So this is the first point you have to know. When you import a module from another module, the code within that module will be executed. Now, if I go to module 7, and I run this module now, you will see that this sentence also has been printed. But look, module 7 import module 5, so this sentence has been printed. Then it imports module 6. Module 6 also importing module 5, but this sentence has not been printed again. From this, we can understand that when there are multiple modules import the same module, this module will be executed only one time when it firstly has been imported. And this is quite important idea to keep in your mind. Now the last idea that I want to talk about in context of Python modules is name variable. Name variable is a built-in variable will be created for each module you will create. So usually you don't create this variable by yourself. Usually, if you want to use name variable, you will see syntax like this. You will define a function like main, for example. You will write some codes within this function. And at the end of the module, you will say if name equal to main, main. What is the meaning of this syntax? Simply, in this case, main will be executed only when we run module from the module itself, not when we import the module from another module. So we have to know that the main purpose of name variable is to help me keep some code without execution when this module is imported from another modules. But I want to run this code only when I run the module from the module itself. Sometimes I need to do something like this, for example, for unit test codes, which I want to run only one time when I want to test the module. But I don't want to run this code every time another module imports my module. To understand the idea better, let me show you an example. First of all, let's assume that I have two modules. Module 8, which has this print statement, the value of the variable name is name, and module 9, which only imports module 8. Now let's see what is the value of this variable name. Let's see. If I run this module 8, and look here now, I am running the module from the module itself, we will see that the value of the variable name is equal to this string, which is main. Now let me run this module 9. If I run, we know that when we import a module, the code within that module will be executed. And here the code is executed, but the value right now is module 8. So we can understand that the variable name takes the value of main when I run the module from the module itself, whereas it takes the module 8 or the module name as a value when I import this module from another modules. So this variable behavior will let me know exactly why the module has been executed. Is it because I run the module itself or because it has been imported from another module? So keep in mind, when you run the module from the module itself, name take the value main. Otherwise, when it has been imported, it will take the value which is equal to the module name. Now let me uncomment this part of my module, and here simply I'm defining a function main, and this main will print hi I am module 8, and then I will say if name equal to main, then call this function main. Let me run now module 8. You will see now that this sentence has been printed. In other words, this function main has been called and the code has been executed. Why this happened? Because I run the module from the module itself. So name will take the value of main and this condition is satisfied. Now if I go to module 9 and run module 9, I will import module 8, so the code within module 8 will be executed. But now the value of variable name is equal to module 8, as you see here. Module 8 is not equal to the string main, so the function main will not be executed and nothing here will be printed. And that's all for the name variable.